Black sky, black light, black everything black. Black heart, black keys, black diamonds. Black out, black everything black. Black, everything, everything all black. Everything, everything all black. Everything, everything all black. Everything, everything black.
Phone 7 Plus, the 10th iPhone, an incremental upgrade to some, and a big one to others. Here's my opinion. Let's start with the design. It remains almost unchanged from the 6 and 6S. That's a given. However, there's a great deal of refinement under the hood. I personally like the design aesthetic of the 7 series phones. The 6 series phones had some design oddities that have since been ironed out. First, the antenna lines. They're almost completely gone from the black and jet black phones. On the other ones, they blend nicely, although not completely gone. Second, the camera bump. On all iPhones dating before the 6, the camera was flush with the body. This is a trait that I believe to make phones look more seamless and clean. The iPhone 6 series had a rather abrupt camera bump that unfortunately contrasted the otherwise smooth, uniform shape. On the 7 series, the camera bump is a part of the chassis, rather than looking like an afterthought. It is nice, it is smooth, and forgivable to be honest. The iPhone 7 Plus has an even more warranted camera bump due to the nature of the dual camera system. Moving in the direction of colors, we have a great many choices. Almost too many to be honest. Silver, 2 different golds, 2 different blacks, and a product red variant that has since been discontinued. Personally, I would have liked to see a dark blue variant, however this was rumored, but unfortunately never happened. On the topic of colors, we have the display. A 5.5-inch unit at 1920 by 1080p. And it's of course an LCD as per usual from Apple. It isn't a Quad HD Samsung panel or anything. Despite the lack of resolution and contrast ratio, I would say that it's one of the best smartphone's displays. The lower PPI at 401 means the processor doesn't even have to work as hard. The GPU doesn't either. This means that the battery life can greatly be extended, and gaming's easier on the slightly weaker than average GPU. The screen is very bright at 705 nits. Now, this is only achievable in auto brightness. And it's pretty visible in direct sunlight. It also includes the P3 color gamut, which is found on 4K HDR TVs. It also has some of the best color accuracy of any phone, period. The battery is only 2900 mAh, which to be honest doesn't sound like a lot. It consistently lasts me the day. When the school day ends, the phone is between 30 and 40%. By the time 6 o'clock rolls around, I'd say it's probably into the single digits. However, I would say battery life is pretty good. One of the big selling points of the 7 series is the camera, or in the 7 Plus's case, cameras. The 7 Plus, which is the one I'll be focusing on, has a 7 megapixel front camera that shoots in 1080p, which is a pretty big deviation from all the other iPhones being in 720p and below. On the rear, you have dual 4K 12 megapixel cameras, one optically stabilized at 28mm and an f1.8 aperture, and of course the one unoptically stabilized 2x zoom sensor at f2.8. It scores a rather impressive 88 in the new DxO mark. Benchmarks obviously aren't everything, and in the real world results, they're pretty amazing. I get an almost constant string of, wow, those photos are really good. Needless to say, the video recording is also amazing. It shoots 4K at 30 FPS at up to 100 megabytes a second with third-party software. Low light performance is very good in both photos and videos. The cameras also capture in the new P3 color gamut. The cameras, in my opinion, are still competing very strongly against much newer flagships, such as the iPhone X and Huawei P20 Pro. In terms of little extras, you get Touch ID, which is very fast and accurate. Accelerometer, gyro, proximity sensor, compass, W1 chip for AirPods and other Beats products, barometer, and IP67 water and dust protection. Starting with Touch ID, it unfortunately works well only while absolutely dry. I've had just slightly sweaty fingers and had it not work. Other times it simply won't scan due to software bugs. You also get full ingress protection from dust and a half hour in 1 meter of water, hence the IP67 rating. This is great for rainy days and accidental drops. Do note, however, that the water resistance is not covered by warranty and is only water resistant in fresh water. This means don't go swimming in a chlorinated pool or salt water, so don't go in the ocean. Sinks are okay, showers are okay, baths are okay, rain's okay. Really, any fresh water should be good. And yes, the elephant in the room. Toilets are okay, just obviously not recommended. I went swimming a while back and found out the hard way that chlorine kills with an IP67 rated smartwatch. Needless to say, it killed the display. I got a free replacement though. This was the first iPhone to come with stereo speakers. They really don't need that much introduction. They're pretty amazing. It's not something you realize you needed until you go back to really any device with just a mono speaker. They're very loud and have a relatively balanced sound. Take a listen. And all of the other great features, we haven't even talked about the processor yet. And wow, there's a lot to talk about. So get ready guys, because I'm about to spit some numbers and letters at you. So get ready, because here we go. It's a quad core with 2 low power cores at 1.7 GHz and 2 high performance cores at 2.34 GHz. The low power cores get over 1,000 single core and over 3,000 multi-core. In Geekbench 4, this puts them roughly on par with a Snapdragon 820. The high power cores scored 3,500 single core and 6,000 multi-core. The numbers for multi-core are in my testing and your mileage may vary. This puts the processor on the same playing ground as the Snapdragon 835, albeit much higher single core and slightly lower multi-core score. Don't get me wrong, however, this phone might be from 2016, but it's no slouch, competing with phones from even this year. It outperforms my 2012 MacBook Pro in Geekbench, and that device has an Intel Core i5 and 8 gigs of RAM, which is more than double the 3 gigabytes found on the 7 Plus. Alright guys, we're getting close to the end of the video, so I'm just going to keep this quick and say, I would in 2018 only buy it used, or if you have, say, a great carrier plan that you're looking at, unless you want to buy it from Apple. I would say that's the only other option. Buy it used or buy it from Apple, because with Apple you get all the perks and stuff, you get warranties. If you're buying it from Amazon, it's probably more expensive because I found a 128 model for $1,500. So I would say shop around, be careful, stay safe with it, but buy it used, buy it on a carrier plan. If you're buying it new, buy it from Apple. Great phone, super fast, still in 2018. Good speakers, good call quality, Touch ID, Siri's getting marginally smarter, great build, great cameras. It's great. Obviously, you're going to have some isolated incidents of either the hiss gate or defects, but overall, I would say it's good. So anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Stay safe, stay pro. See you in the next one.